Alright, so we're doing this video just to help a Steam forum member out. He's doing Ascension 3, this is the seed, Defect. So, first thing that you always want to do is consider these options and look at your act layout. Don't just click this and then go. Because, for example, these 3 random potions are great if you want to go into like an early elite. They're just great all around. And on Ascension 3 you have 3 open slots, like that's pretty good. You don't want to just click lose all gold, and if you're like, you know, planning to go to this shop, that's just silly, right? And let's just talk about these options. Upgrade card is fine. I mean, the starter deck, you could upgrade. Zap, I guess, would be the best thing to upgrade. It's not that amazing. 3 random potions, like I said, it's great. You have 3 open slots. I'm actually, like, before even looking at the act layout, I'm thinking this is probably going to be it. Rare colorless card is it's variable. It's like, you know, if you get Apotheosis, Hand of Greed, you're very happy. If you get, you know, Transmutation like he had in the video, it's a little bit, you're kind of rolling the dice on that pick itself and just this option, and you're paying 99 gold for a rare colorless, which is definitely cheaper than most rare colorless cards. I think they're usually around like 150 depending on Ascension, but yeah, I'm not too hot about this, especially on Defect. Like, you know, maybe on like Clad kind of likes it a bit better, but anyways. And Boss Relic is just, you're just rolling the dice. Like, if you get Busted Crown floor 0, your run's essentially over. Like, you're going to be seeing 1 card reward every fight. That's absolute, you know, that's absolute garbage. But you could also get something a bit nicer and be happy with it. So this is just, you know, flip a coin, see how it turns out. Let's take a look at the act layout. What you want to consider first is you typically want a rest site for an elite, at least before your first elite, because this gives you an option to upgrade a card, which is, you know, like I said before, in the starter deck it's not that good, but you're hopefully going to be picking things up. So what fills that criteria? Well, there's this path here and this path here, but we got 2 shops. One of these nodes is just dead. You're losing out on an event, card reward, whatever. This, I mean, if we got like a 250 gold start, I may consider this path, but even then that's a little sus. I'd probably like go this way, which is kind of what I'm considering. I think I'm gonna skip the shop because there's not much you can buy for 99 gold. We can go this way, grab these 2. We'll decide on whether or not we want to hit this shop or go for another elite. If we're maybe a little hurting, we go for the shop. If we're feeling strong, go for the extra relic for sure. Extra relic and card reward. So just looking at this act layout, I'm thinking maybe hit 1 event, go up here, fire, elite, double fire, elite, into slime boss. And every time that you start an act, you want to look at this boss, and all your card picks are going to revolve around this guy. So with slime boss, for example, you need burst damage. You want to split him at as low as health as possible. Guardian, you kind of want a bit more of a defensive strategy. You're not going to make it through Guardian without some sort of block that's, you know, more than just these defense. These aren't typically not going to cut it. Maybe if you have a lot of health, you can make it through, but and then Hexaghost, you just need to go balls to the wall damage. I mean, you need to kill that guy or he will kill you very quickly. 6 turns, I believe, is when he does his 36 attack and upgrades all the burns. And yeah, you're in a very bad spot if it gets to there, and you're even alive at that point. So I'm thinking 3 random potions. We got 3 open slots. Let's see what we get. Decent potions. So for these lice, dual cast always. And we get a free fight. These 3 options here. Sweeping Beam, it's a card that you really don't want late game. Like, I really hate this card. Like, it can definitely do things in Act 1, but, and especially against Slime Boss, it's also not a bad card because it does a bit of AoE, but it just doesn't do enough, man. Like, it's a kind of a sad card. Stack is completely useless. Never take this card on floor 1. Just to clarify, it's not useless in general. You know, later in the game when you got a 30 card deck, 40 card deck, this could be your best block easily. And Cool-Headed, it's fine, but these really aren't the cards we're looking for. We want to go a bit more offensive. If I was a bit harder pressed, like we still have quite a few. We have a minimum of 4 card rewards, possibly 5 if this rolls into a fight as well. We're not that hard pressed to pick up damage before this elite, so I'm gonna be a little bit greedy. I'm gonna skip this Sweeping Beam, but it's an okay pick. I wouldn't hate you if you took it. Clicky, first try, Shuriken. Shuriken on Defect is typically not that great. He doesn't really have many attacks that scale well with strength. Like, he has, what's that card, Rip and Tear, I believe, the double attack. That's about it. Like, it's kind of a nothing relic, but we'll get a few hit points here and there. That's about it. Just narrowly squeak out of here. That's a good jawworm fight. Beautiful. This is the card we are looking for. Always, 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 you're looking for this card right here. This is one of the best starter cards, you know, when you're starting out your run. You want to grab this. Creative AI is pretty busted in the late game, but if you take it now, it's essentially, it's going to be a curse card to you. You can't ever really play it. And the powers that it generates can range from absurdly overpowered, like if you get an Echo Form, but then you have to spend 6 energy over 2 turns to get an Echo Form in play. And, you know, you don't have that luxury this early in the game. And, you know, a lot of these powers can be useless. You get heat sinks, you get storm or whatever. It's just like you're just filling your deck full of crap. And barrage, we don't have enough orb slots, enough orb generation really to even justify that pick. Definitely take the ball though in there. Do we have lethal? 16 is 24, yes. Always check if you have lethal before you just start playing cards. Like, one of the bad habits I had to get out of is I would typically try to address block first and then throw out some attacks, but you want to always make sure that you're doing lethal. Doom and Gloom, by the way, amazing. I didn't even think to evaluate those card picks. This is clearly the card you take there. It's amazing. And look at this fight. We don't get it turn 1, but it'll probably put some work into this fight. We are staring down 22 damage here, and I'm considering using one of our potions. So if we strength potion, we can actually kill 2 of these guys with these strikes. So this is definitely a great use of that potion. And we'll just keep 5. That's fine. Still no doom and gloom, eh? Okay, that's fine. I didn't need it. Easy. Oh, nice of you to show up to the party, bud. Get a potion back for that. Speed potion, not that great, but it is what it is. Let's talk about these card rewards. Claw can be good. I'm not gonna say Claw is just a horrible card, but it's mostly a trap. Unless you can get like 3 or 4 of these, plus some holograms or an all for one, it's a garbage card. With a Shuriken, you might actually consider it a bit more strongly, but I'm gonna say no. Turbo is one of these busted cards. Trifecta for Defect is Skim, Turbo, Hologram. If you can get these 3 cards in your deck, you're going to be doing very well, no matter what else is in your deck, really. As long as it's not just strikes and defense, you're going to be playing a lot of cards, doing a lot of damage, doing a lot of block, etc. In the starter deck, it's kind of not that great. You know, if I draw it alongside Doom and Gloom, I'll be able to play like 2 extra cards, or 1 extra card, I guess. But it's really not doing that much, if I'm being honest. Or 2 extra cards, rather, yeah. But I would suggest not taking this, because every time you play it, you're going to be getting a void. You're cycling your deck fairly often, so you're going to draw back into that void. It's -1 card draw, -1 energy. It's going to bite you really hard when you start getting into a bit longer fights, such as, you know, Lagavulin or Sentries. Gremlin Knob, I mean, it's not that great against Gremlin Knob either. I'm not a huge fan of Cold Snap as a card itself. It's a strike that generates a frost, but I think we need to start thinking about damage a bit more. Like right now, I'd say we're in a pretty good spot. We can definitely stomp some elites, especially with this upgraded Doom and Gloom. And yeah, looks like we're about to go into that. Huh. I think I'll employ this potion here. Oh, Equilibrium. Scripted. Definitely just keep the 1. You don't, I mean, you just want to get out of this fight. Don't be greedy with 1 hit point. Now we get some card rewards. Alright. Pile Driver, we have 3 different orb types. Pile Drivers draw 3. Pretty good. Almost makes me wish I took the the turbo, the floor earlier, but then again I wouldn't have the Frost Orb to make it 3 draw. This is definitely a really great card. Buys Cog is probably one of the best cards Defect has. It's such good focus, like, but obviously the downside, any fight that drags on, it's just gonna kill you, like literally. If your orbs aren't doing anything, you're dead. And I don't feel like I want to be taking this right now, although if we choose Earless Shop, we get like Orange Pellets or Clockwork Souvenir, I'm going to be kicking myself, but I think I'm going to skip out on this. Streamline is fine. I usually hate this card, honestly. Like, I take it fairly often, just to get through Act 1, but it's a hindrance in the late game. So if you can avoid taking this card, I would say just don't take it. I think I like the compile driver with all these orbs here. It's some good draw. So we gotta decide when we want to wake up. I feel like getting this Doom and Gloom into play right now is just fine. We'll be eating some damage next turn for sure. We only have 2 defense, so there's not much we can do about that. But I'm gonna go Cold Snap first. Put the Dark Orb in the back for sure. And I'm gonna hold off on these potions. You don't wanna, you know, pop these potions and then get like, you know, go for the eyes or something and be like, oh shit, well, that does nothing now, right? I have no real pressing reason to pop the potion right now. So we'll just hold off. See what we get. Hyper Beam. Don't think I want to take that. Get a card draw. That is draw 3. So we could draw into some of these. If we are really desperate, we could maybe like full block. Or we could go like ball lightning, dual cast, zap. I think we hold off on the compile driver. Let's just we'll block 10. Beat a bit. It's fine. I don't want to accidentally draw into, let's say, dual cast or something. So we'll just use this one. Like so. Vajra, regen pot. These 2 cards aren't that great. Sleep Barrier is good with an upgrade and some decks, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this card really. It just doesn't do enough numerically. 6 block. It's like it's pretty much nothing. Recursion is good with an upgrade, but paying 1 just to cycle an orb is not that great. And as I said before, hologram is part of the trifecta. You want a hologram. Hologram is just, it's a staple. We'll take it here. We can definitely afford to take one. War Paints could hit the hologram or these 2, but chances are it's just going to hit defense. Taking the key here is certainly acceptable, I would say. But we'll hit it. Yeah, we get 2 defense. That's fine. It'll save us some health over the run for sure. Upgrade this hologram. Let's go get Doom Gloom. Kind of want to defend here though. Maybe I should have drawn there, but either way, this fight will be over shortly enough. We'll just take this back. There's the streamline again. Beam Cell is very good, especially with compile driver. Hologram as well, it's a decent hologram target. And Reboot is, it's okay. I'm not a huge fan of Reboot, if I'm being perfectly honest, but in a lot of situations it can be quite useful. Especially if you have like energy generation, like if you can redraw into a turbo or something like that, it can be pretty good. But I'll take the beam cell here. We gotta make sure we can take down the slime boss, and beam cell certainly helps with that. We got 3 sentries. 3 sentries, you want to attack the front or the back, because on their turn they're going to hit you for 20, and being hit for 10 per turn is far more manageable than 20 per turn. I don't want to accidentally draw into the whatchamacallit, Doom and Gloom. So in that situation, oh, I should have hit this regen pod as well. I'll drink it right now. I think it's still fine. We'll get the full regen, but I definitely should have done that last turn. I wasn't thinking. We could full block with this if we're really concerned about our hit points. It's actually a pretty decent full block. We're a little short on this kill. Yeah, you know, this speed pod isn't very good. If you can save 10 health with that potion, then you're in really good shape. So that's about as much as that potion's ever going to save you. So, kill. And, we'll just throw out another cell at this guy. We'll go for this guy because maybe we can deal 16 damage to him next turn and save us seeing it. And we sure can. And we actually lost a bit of regen. I'm going to be greedy here and try to get just the last few hit points. Yeah, I don't think there's any way this can go bad. Tiny chest. This relic, man, I hate that relic. The way you look at a tiny chest is you're already down a relic. You have a useless relic, and you have to go to 4 question marks just to make up for that. Like, if I got that at this chest here, easily would take the blue key. This is not a good relic. Not too happy to see that. Steam we already talked about. We already have a cold snap. Adding a second one does not help us. Seek, on the other hand, huge card. Love that card. We are definitely taking that. We got some angry mushrooms, okay. I think we'll just seek for Doom Gloom here. Eat a little bit of damage. That's fine. Let's see who we hit. Actually, if I draw into Beam Cell, I think I can actually kill these two. Oh, we did. Perfect. That really showcases the power of zero cost cards and card draw. Hologram, we don't want to go crazy on holograms. For this deck size right now, and kind of what we're looking for, 1 hologram is fine. Cool-headed is fine. We're kind of going a bit too heavy on card draw without having enough energy to actually do something with it. I think for now, Compile Driver is fine. One extra cold orb is okay, but we're going against Slime Boss. Darkness. Huge, huge, huge damage. That is your boss killer. Combine that with Doom and Gloom already in the deck. Yeah, we're taking Darkness. We want that Darkness upgraded. And we are going to stomp the Slime Boss. I want to make sure you don't accidentally split them. So we're doing 9 plus 14 is 23. That's not a split. Oh, look at that. Couldn't ask for a better draw. We'll kick the sink around. Good. So, not sure if you're aware of this, but just to point it out, Darkness targets the lowest HP enemy. So, we're guaranteed to hit him. Cast and this fight's over. Nope, not quite. I mean, kind of overthinking this, aren't I? Just make sure he dies. Whatever. Fight's over. Core Surge, not that great of a card. It's useful in some fights where they're going to debuff you. The question is, are you going to draw it before Snecko hits you with it, or, you know, Cultist or Heart? It usually doesn't really work out, I find. Decent target for a bottle, though. It's also good with Bias Cognition, but it's a little situational. You need to draw this, play it, then draw Bias Cognition, play it. It's not always going to work out for you. Seek, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having 2 Seeks in your deck, but I'm looking at this card. Oh man, that card plus Darkness equals dead boss. Easy peasy. And interesting set of relics. Black Star. I feel like on Ascension 3, you could almost just take a Black Star here and laugh about it. But if this was like A20, I'm not so sure I could like deal with the Act 2 elites. Like Act 2 is particularly threatening. I find that it's probably one of the most threatening acts in the game, besides Act 4. It requires really good AoE, which, I mean, we have one AoE card. It's not that great. I don't really feel too confident about going for like 3 or 4 elites, which is kind of what you need to do to make up for taking a Black Star. Calling Bell, I mean, could be amazing. You get Mummified Hand or something like that. You know, could be amazing, could be just garbage. It's kind of a roll. And Inserter, you kind of need to have enough orb generation to be able to fill those slots. Otherwise, you kind of just fall behind. If you can't be playing orbs and evoking the ones in front of it, and this keeps adding orb slots, then it's actually going to hurt you more than it helps you. especially with, oh, I did not mean to skip that. We'll just go back to that screen real quick. Yeah, so I think we do have enough orb generation to fill those slots easily. Like, we have 5 cards that do that. So I would say Inserter is probably my pick here. But again, I would say, you know, Black Star, you might be able to get away with it. Calling Bell, it's kind of a coin toss here. Yeah, choice is yours. I'm just going to end this run here. I don't really feel like I want to go through with this whole run. I kind of got to get off anyways. So anyways, hopefully this was helpful to you. Take her easy.